Well, this is one way to spend your retirement, isn't it? Creek Stewart's Pocket Field Guide to Quinzees. Meow, Huples cat. This is day 2 of our Quinzhee build. We started it yesterday and we kind of went slow and we're doing it slowly. So today, this morning specifically, we should have it finished. It's currently about minus 24 centigrade with a wind chill of minus 31. Started the day with minus 29. It is going up to a balmy minus 9 centigrade by the end of today. But it's going to be cold the rest of the week, like colder than that by a long shot. Minus 19 is a high, I believe, on Wednesday. So what better time than to make a Quinzhee? So after my disastrous first winter camping in a tent, I actually have a thermal layer on, and I have an extra thermal layer on top. So it's a bit grey today, so I might do some colour correction. One of the things I've noticed, and you'll see some pictures here from online stuff, is people that are building these, generally speaking, they're doing it in large groups of people. To build one of these on your own, I think for one person who's extremely fit and had the time and the calories and the water, and the supplies around and tools, I think it would take maybe 5 to 6 hours complete from start to finish. It's a lot of work. So this is not a survival shelter. In a survival situation, I'm just going to bury myself in a bank of snow for the night, make a Quinzhee there, and then cover it myself with debris and whatever's falling, and cover that on snow. Anything that's quick. This is far too long. But you can see Kitty's doing a little mole rat. It's getting lots of snow for me. So we just got some wood and Kitty's just come in and she's going to warm up, and then we're going to go out and start on the Quinzhee again. But I thought I'd interview her and ask her what her opinions are.
No problem.
You look great. Perfect.
I'm sure. Well, it's hard work, but we're having fun. I like digging tunnels in the snow, it turns out.
You're a good little digger.
Yeah, I think we can revise it, do another one that'll be better, bigger and better.
So what's your plans to revise it at this point?
Well, I think I want to, if you actually want to have a ramp you come up to get in, I think I do want to tamp down the snow so that we have a floor that when you hit it, it's harder snow. So you know you hit it, you don't dig down below that. And that would then your tunnel, you could come up from the ground, would be easier. Using bags to make the tunnel even after you've made the other thing, which I think I would like to do, make the tunnel after. And then I would like to make it more domey than peaky, so that you can flesh out the sides and have better occupancy space. Because to be honest, I'm making this as a fun snow fort and not as a survival thing. So I think it'd be fun to go out there and sit and have a glass of wine in your snow hut. But it would also have more space if you did want to put in some sort of pallet for your sleep.
Well, it's bleeding clear to me that it is not a survival shelter. It just is not. It's far too big, far too much work involved. There's a lot of snow to build. I think one of the interesting things is we're figuring this is maybe about half the size it should have been. And we were told to go about this size for one person, and there's no way.
Well, one person might be able to sleep in it. One person.
You'd have to be curled up.
No, you sort of stretch out down that hallway, so you'd add another hallway kind of thing, another entryway. You'd put bags in, put snow over, let it, make that entranceway a bit bigger. It'd be a bit claustrophobic in there though.
Yeah.
But you could probably punch
For the work involved, you might as well have just built into a snowbank.
The only time I could say in a quote survival thing is if you were going to stay put in one place
for
in
days.
a cold winter for like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, then building something like this might. But when are you going to have that in survival? I don't know. But that.
And then you're invisible.
If you have it, like we know right now that I probably have 2 weeks where it's not going above freezing. So this thing will probably be with us, as long as you don't collapse it, be with us for a few weeks. So if it was a sleep-in corridor, which is not yet, it's not, but if it was, then there might be some efficacy to it. But if for a one-night thing, God, no. If we're on the move, no, this is too much work. But then I'm trying to make it refined into a little bit of a thing it wouldn't need to be. So, I don't know. I'm no expert.
Well, you're doing good.
I'm a digger.
She's a digger, not a lover. Anyways, yeah, so dress right and be warm. Like I'm coming in the house quite often because I'm getting really cold. I don't want to be wet and cold. And for Christmas this year, I got about maybe 12 pairs of gloves from Kitty. And I think I may use them all today because they get wet quite easily and you need to dry them out. So yeah, we're persevering with the project, but it's been an interesting one. I think, to be honest, the amount of hours involved in this from start to finish when we had them together probably is going to hit the 7-hour mark between the two of us. So it's probably about 10 hours, 3 hours from me and 7 hours from Kitty. Let's get on with it. So there's our Quinzhee, which is more of a snow cave because it's not really got an angled tunnel. What we came up with and decided was the actual amount of snow should have gone from the edge here in a much more of a dome. So we'd need this to be about 2 or 3 foot taller, possibly here, and around like that. But I'm going to drag Wolfie and he can have a look in the inside. So there's the snow ledge. It's a bit tiny. I made a little ledge there for putting glasses on and that sort of thing. So I made little shelves and not bad, but this is too small. Really is not big enough. It needed to be basically twice as much snow on the outside so we could get the height and everything else. Have we had enough, Wolfie? Alright, should we let the terrier leash? Unleash the hounds! There he goes. I'm really happy we made this, and I'm really glad that we did, because it really needs a lot more work than what we did on it, and we did a lot of work on it. So as a survival shelter, this is a definite 0, but the principles work fairly well. It is actually noticeably warmer than outside, even without much of a cold sink. There's not much of a cold sink here. When you get up to the shelf is okay. But you have to wonder, all of these people out there building these enormous snow domes, like, and Quinzees online and stuff.
We're all tucked in the Quinzhee. It's pretty cozy. What do you guys think? Are we gonna be cold?
Probably. Absolutely not.
So we just woke up after a night in the Quinzhee, and as you can see, it's obviously pretty warm. The temperature reads as -40 outside, and that's not with the wind chill. And I'm just in a light sweater, and I've got my sleeping bags, and it was a wonderful night in the Quinzhee. These things are amazing. You guys need to go check out the inside of the Quinzhee. Alright, so this is the inside of our Quinzhee. It's big enough that 3 full-size adults slept in here last night, and what we did is we built up about a 6-inch platform to put our sleeping bags and thermarests on, so we kept more of the heat up here. But as you can see, although it's -40 outside, it's not so bad in here because I'm just in a long sleeve shirt right now.
In like 2 hours, and then claiming they're sleeping all night without getting wet or cold. I think there's a certain thing going on in our modern world where people actually are providing entertainment as well as education, and they're doing it in such a way that may not necessarily match up. I can tell you this was about 6 to 7 hours work between the two of us, me and Kitty, probably about 8 to 9 between the two of us, like about 4 hours each, and it needed to be twice as big. Now I will tell you, once we got the actual initial part done, it was very quick to do the rest of it. So one thing I definitely would do with these in the future is really stack it with trash bags in the middle. So when I excavate the tunnel and pull them out, we definitely can sit up straight away and use a proper shovel to excavate. It made it a lot easier.
All I gotta do is be patient. The weight of the snow will help compact it, and the crystals of the snow will bond, and then it'll be really firm.
Hollowing out this mountain of snow is a 2-man operation, and lucky for me, my cameraman Rick has volunteered to be the mole.
So I've got Ricky continuing on the door, and now I'm going to tunnel down all the way through, and actually I'm gonna meet up with him.
And I also definitely would have a second tunnel coming in to meet this one from the other way. So whoever's here, probably Kitty, so whoever's in the middle, probably Kitty because she's small, digging, I can shuffle the snow out through the other side without her having to stop and squish around, especially when you first start doing it. As an effective snow shelter, it's a D. It's a bit of a windbreak. It could have been a lot easier. But the principles, it's nice to do the principles, and we haven't written off doing another one this season, but we're just going to wait for a bit because we had our booster shots yesterday, and both of us actually reacted this time. We had to have Moderna, not Pfizer, No idea if that's got anything to do with it, but we have felt very sore arms and quite sick and tired. So we're getting over that now. Kitty's baking bread. I walked Wolfie and I thought I'd just shoot this. It was minus 33 centigrade this morning, real temperature, like in the minus 40s with the wind chill. And currently it's about minus 19 centigrade. Not too bad. Toodles. This has been a Safely Sleeping in Front of the Fire production 2022.